full. Slightly unusual for the Indian batsman, who generally got deliveries short of length outside the off stump. That was right up there to drive. Seemed a little unprepared to play the shot, Kedar Jadhav.
Yeah, my initial impression with Kedar was that he was trying to have a couple of shimmies and try and whip him through mid-wicket. And because the ball was so full up to him, he ended up playing it straight to mid-off.
And finishes with a short delivery that carries very nicely to the keeper. 12 overs gone. It's 41 for 3.
Partnership of 30 now. 41 for 3. India still in trouble, but breathing a little better. Rohit Sharma 16, Kedar Jadhav 16. No more wickets gone down after that opening burst, not so far. Maybe a leg by. Sunil Gavaskar will join us, but it's also time to say good afternoon to Bradley Hogg.
Good afternoon, Harsha.
It's George Bradley, isn't it?
It is George Bradley. It's a pleasure to be over here in India again.
You come every month, don't you? You're Australian. All Australians associated with cricket come to India every month anyway.
No, I haven't been here since the IPL, but really good IPL this year. Very close contest.
Now that'll go in the gap. And we'll go for 4. It's beaten a very fine athlete into the boundary for 4, so it must have been well timed too. And so India now just starting to reap the benefits of weathering that early storm. Certainly these two batsmen are.
Jadhav loves that shot. Don't want to feed him the cut shot too often. Especially at the pace of Faulkner.
Very different game of cricket. I don't want to jump the gun and say too much more than that, but it's a very different game of cricket than when Cummins and Coulter-Nile were firing away at either end.
Certainly was, because they were getting a bit of movement, they were getting a bit more bounce. Clearly James Faulkner and Stoinis not bowling at the same speed, not getting the same kind of movement, and therefore conceding runs. Faulkner coming back to the Australian team. I think he hasn't played in the one-day team for quite a while now. So just finding his feet and not finding it easy. Bowling a little wide off the stumps, giving the batsmen ample time to free their arms and play their shots on the offside. Not using that slower delivery to good effect at the moment.
Goes round the wicket.
And this makes sense, because now he won't give the batsman that room around the off stump. He'll get the ball in towards the batsman.
I think this is a point that Sunil Gavaskar was making, just a little shorter, not as quick through the air. And up against a batsman whose first instinct is to play a shot and only defend if he can't.
Well, that ball wasn't too wide. It was just because the left armer was going across the right-handed batsman that allowed him to play the cut shot.
Right, Rohit Sharma's now decided, I think I'll enjoy myself a little bit more. 50 comes up for India. It seems so far away at 11 for 3.
Biding his time, Rohit Sharma. He was at the other end when the wickets fell. He knew that it was now up to him to stick around. Didn't quite middle this one, but still had enough in it. Enough punch, enough power in it to take it to the boundary. This outfield's been slowed down a little bit by the overnight rain.
Well, he himself was dropped in 4, wasn't he, by Steve Smith? It's 51 for 3.
Well, best over of the innings as far as the Indians are concerned. 10 runs coming from that over. The Australians have bowled very well. The new ball bowlers in particular, Cummins and Coulter-Nile, kept the pressure on, bowled with pace and fire. Got a little bit of bounce. But Indians effecting a slow recovery.
They see 10 runs in that over, the tallest structure there. Very little earlier on. Look at the little rectangles below the blue line, below the overs. And after 6 overs, India were 11 for 3. The next 7 overs, 40 for no loss. This is always going to be the challenge for Australia. Once a new ball was gone, the backup seam of Stoinis and Faulkner. Zampa comes along with his wrist spin. And time it too well.
This man's been in fine form over the last 3 or 4 months. That wasn't a bad ball from Faulkner. That's what happens when you're in Chennai. You can just play through the line like that on a good length, especially when the ball's not moving.
I think he might have been ready for the shot before the ball arrived on that occasion. Average total batting first, 237. Dare say there's that's in Chennai, of course. I dare say that's the effect of the days when 300 was considered very good score, match winning score. Goes up to 255 in day-night games. Right, good to see the crowd in again now.
That's a fine shot, really good shot. The Australians have got their field placing spot on. They've got the fielder there at deep mid-wicket, not deep square leg. There is a deep fine leg, but this is a very good shot from outside the off stump. Kedar Jadhav, he likes to improvise, he likes to move around the crease. Gets himself into positions where he can work the ball away for runs, if not boundaries.
It's a very interesting character. Kedar Jadhav was first sent in at 6, and you thought, right, his job is to go and slog a few at 6 and then bowl his brand of off-break bowling. But every time something's been asked of him, he's gone out and delivered, except I think on a couple of occasions when he batted 4 in Sri Lanka. But he's such an inventive, street smart player. And I think